Hey y'all, what's up? It's John again with Superfly, BeSuperfly.com. Today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to pull off this overlapping text and image section that we have going on here. This example is from one of our child themes, Josephine, but we also have a client project that we've been working on that has the same kind of effect, but when I hover over, it kind of scooches over. Um, and makes the room. So that's what we're going to be working on today, how to do that. So what I have started here is I have some text up top and text on bottom to give me some scrolling room, and then I have a middle section with the background image. And so here's what I have, and this middle section just has this guy right here. And so then we're going to go ahead and just start from this point and start making the layout. So I'm going to insert my two columns, and actually I'm going to update this real quick, and I'm going to switch over to the visual builder. That way we can do this in the yeah, I want to use the visual builder for this. Okay, great. All right, so over here we'll add our image, and I already have one ready, this guy right here. And I'm going to move my video, I guess, so I can say upload. Okay, that's great for now. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my text over here. And I'm just going to copy this. We'll just say heading. Then we'll copy that. Heading, I'll do an H2, which is actually pulling in the color from our gradient plugin. And I'm going to give it a little more text here. Or here, I'll just do. There we go. And while I'm here, I'm just going to bump this text size up a little bit. And maybe the line height. Okay. This all looks pretty good. And so now I'm going to do a couple things to make this look more like so. So there's a couple ways to approach this. Right now I'm setting an actual image module here. You could use an image background for that area instead. But some cleanup items really quick. I'm going to give us some more padding to work with for this section. So I'm just going to say like maybe even like 120 just to give us a lot of room. That's great. And then on this guy, I'm just going to get rid of it, which I mean I guess I could just go like, and this sometimes it's tricky to grab it. I guess I could just do that number. And let's see what that did in the padding area. Yeah, great. Although I didn't need to do it on the right and left, but that's fine. Okay. And then I'm also going to go in here and I'm going to make this row a little wider. So I'm going to go into the sizing. I'm going to make the row full width. Actually, no, I'm just going to do custom gutter width maybe to get it. Yeah, that's great. Okay, and then I'm also going to go into this text module. There's lots of different ways to do this, but I'm going to give the text module some padding, probably just 50 pixels all around. And then also while I'm here, I might as well give it a background color. We'll just give a background color of white. That's great. And then over here, I wonder if I say equalize column height. No, I didn't do it. Okay, well, that's fine. But you can see it's starting to kind of come together of what we want here. And then over here for the text, I'm actually going to go into the box shadow. And I usually favor something around here, like the 0.2. And then I'm going to do the same for our image module. Okay, great. And then lastly, I'm going to add a little more text to or maybe some block quote. Yeah, and our block quote styling isn't the greatest right now, so we'll just go in here and we'll make our block quote like 24. We'll do that right there. And then we'll give it like an ultra bold. Then get rid of that guy. Great, that's fine, probably. All right, that's fine. Just try and make it a little longer. Okay, great. Yeah, I want to figure out how come there's that. Well, let's save this and figure out how come there's a space here. My background image should be covering that space, but let's see what we have here. Perfect. I'm just going to reload this page. Sometimes that helps fix the issue. Okay, much better. All right, so now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go to the margin. Well, actually, let me go into advanced here and go to classes. I'm going to give my column 1 class an ID of overlap image, and my column 2 of overlap text. That seems great. I'm going to go ahead and save that. Now I'm going to hop over to and write some CSS here. So we have overlap image, and then we have overlap text. And overlap image, let's say we want to move over overlap image. Where are you at? Oh, I need to refresh this first probably so that I can see the classes. There we go. There we go. Overlap image. So let's see here. If I say right 50 pixels, all right, so I want to probably say right like -50. And this one we want to do left -50 pixels. Let me go ahead and copy that. Let's place this in our wherever your custom CSS area is. Okay, and then I'm also going to do yeah, I'm also going to push down the overlap text one. So let's say top 50 pixels. Okay, there we go. That's getting closer to what we want. Let me go ahead and save that. Actually, I think I want even more, so like 100. Yeah, that looks good to me. Save, come over here and see what we have. Great, and because of that, you might have to adjust with the padding down here because we're pushing this guy down 100, which I am actually going to change my mind and do 75. but regardless, we need to add 75 to the bottom padding there of that of this module, which is just happens to be right in the way of it. There we go. Padding. So maybe now this is 200, roughly 200. Well, if I want to be exact, it'd be 195. There we go. That looks great. Save this. Perfect. And if you wanted to flip this to have the image be on top, what you'd probably have to do is go to the overlap image, and you'd probably just give it a Z index of looks like 90, probably anything over 9. Yeah. So 10, and then your image would be on top. But then it's covering text, so you don't want that. But then lastly, so that's how you get that is how you get the overlap effect. And then let me do some adjustment for mobile here. So let's say down at that looks pretty good, but when it goes to tablet, it breaks it out and does this. Now there's a couple of things you can do here. Sometimes what I'll do is you can either just stack them, which is probably what we'll do in this video, but sometimes what I do is I will I'll make it like fit all the way to the edge of the screen like this, and then I'll make the text one do the other way. So let me bring this guy in here so we can see the whole thing. There we go. So I'll have him do like negative 100 like that. So that's what I do on Josephine on tablet, and then on mobile I stack them. So that's one option. Actually, yeah, let's do this option, and then on mobile we'll do the other option. So let's go ahead and write our let's go ahead and write our media query here for that, and we'll just copy this guy. And so we'll say right negative 100 there, left negative 100, and we'll leave the top let's bring the top down maybe let's bring it down maybe to 50. Okay, let's give that a shot. So yeah, you can see what it does there, and you might have to play with your values for the negative margin there. Like I'm just kind of doing this quick, and there's probably a little better way to do that. But then you can see here as I come in, eventually, like usually around 600 is where I switch it to the mobile. As you can see right here, it's getting really tight on padding. So you'd probably throw in a couple other media queries. Actually, let's do 767. Let's switch it to the mobile view. That's what we'll do. So then at 767, which is right under the iPad, let me grab this here. And I believe we're going to say 0 and 0, and then probably 0. I think that's going to do it. So there it goes. So here it is regularly. It goes down to this thing, which actually I might even reduce that so it still overlaps. I think that'd be kind of cool. And then down here on mobile, they come together to do that. Great. So yeah, I think actually I'm going to have these guys overlap here on tablet. So top, let's do negative 50 there for the But yeah, for the I think for the text, right? Or no, I'm sorry, I want to move the image down. Or no, no, I think I'm right. I think that's right. So let's go back to here. If anyone's screaming at the screen, like, what are you doing? Yeah, I like that. That's cool. We'll make that work. This space now is a little crazy. So I need a minus. Um, I would need to go into, let me close this a second. Close. Come on. Go in here into the padding. And on tablet, I'm going to change it anyway. Well, 120 is fine. Actually, I'm going to change it anyway to like 80. 80 and I think 80. Let's see if that looks right. Probably have to be 130 up here. Yeah, there's that spacing there. And then let me make this guy a little smaller. Yeah, that appears to be about right. So actually I'm going to go down to like 150. There we go. So a little space down there, a little space up there. Let's see if this is correct. All right, so up top here we have 100. And down here we have pretty much 100. So that works. And then what happens when I go to my, yep. So now when I go to the mobile, I need to fix that gap there. Probably by zeroing it all out. Copy that. And then we'll probably have to also adjust our padding. So tablet 150. For mobile, let's just do 50 and 50. We will wait for this to save and then refresh. So this still looks good. That's the good news. Goes down to tablet. That looks great. And then down at mobile, I'm going to go back to 100 on the mobile padding because that's just a little too close for what I like. And then you'd also adjust your block load and stuff like that. And I did notice that this is on the left up here, this is on the right, and then when we go down to mobile, they switch. So you would actually change this to, you would change these values to the other way, probably to left 100 and right 100. Yeah, let's try that. Left, right, left, right. That's my bad on that. So let me copy all that, and then let me also go into our mobile padding and change that from, so tablet. So that one's going to remember from tablet, that's 100. This one needs to be 100. All right. No, let me see here. So I'm curious why it didn't switch like I wanted it to. Let me see. Left. And then this guy would need to be right. Well, it's going to be right a lot more than that. It's going to be right probably by, I'm not super sure why that's doing that. Left negative 100%. Yep. Okay, so let me save this again. I must have not saved it right or something. Okay, so that's right. But the bottom here is not cooperating. And why is that? I'm gonna spend a couple more minutes on this and then figure out why it's not doing what I'd like. So that image is doing what I want, and then on, yep, this one though, probably because it's keeping, yeah, I gotta zero the left to 0 from our original, and then maybe I could go more over. Why can't I go more over? Oh, the row isn't, okay, the row isn't, the row has a restraint on how wide it can be. So that's why it's not going to go over. So maybe the original, otherwise I could make the row full width, but then you'd have to, on desktop, you'd have to manage the, manage all this. I wonder if margin would work. Margin right, negative 200. Yeah, no. Did I spell that right? Margin right. Yeah, doesn't write that, isn't like that. Oh, that's why, right there. Yeah, so I guess the original, let's go back to that. So let's do right, left, right, and left, which I'm fine with. Just bummed that we had to go through all that. If someone knows a better way to achieve that, please place in the comments. That would be amazing. All right, so let's check out our final code here. Okay, so here we are way up here. This looks great. We come down to our tablet. That looks great. And then we come down to our mobile, and that looks great. I'll put the CSS, or there'll be a link to the code pen where you can grab the CSS in the description, and then I'll also put I'll download this page as a layout file and include that in the description as well with a link to this. But yeah, that is how you pull off this kind of effect. Oh, I forgot to do the on hover with the animation. Let's do that real quick. So I'm just going to give this I'm going to give this row a class name of overlap, or you could do overlap container or whatever. Oh, let's do that, overlap container. And then I'm going to say overlap container hover overlap image right is going to be 0. Then I'm just going to copy this and overlap hover left 0. And then we'll probably have to do some kind of editing for that for tablet and mobile, even for desktop users that view their websites at that size. Even though tablet and mobile, there's not really an option for that. Okay, so yeah, so now what I'm realizing is from the get-go, I should just do, let me see here. Oh, overlap text. There we go. And then you see that's going to fix the text to move. And you see how it's just jumping. So I'm actually going to add, let me scooch this over here. I'm actually going to add transition to both of these. Okay, so now when we hover over the row, it's going to go to the overlap image and overlap text and change the right and left values to 0. So they'll slide out. It's going to take 0.3 seconds to do that. Like so. So yeah, when I hover over the row, it's going to separate them like that. So what about tablet? So like here, it's just going to do that. Tablet, it might, that could be cool. Otherwise, you can write a media query rule for tablet, and then for mobile, it's already at 0, 0, so it's not going to do anything. So if you didn't want it to do anything on hover on tablet, which I kind of like that actually, but if we didn't want that, then all you would do is just grab this rule, these two, and then go into your tablet settings, or tablet CSS here, and then you would just match, for the image, you would just match -100, and then for the overlap text, you would just match that to -100. Copy, paste that in. But I'm kind of wondering if I can use like inherit for this instead, though. I'm curious about that. Okay, so that's doing it. Get down to tablet. Yeah, nothing because we took it out. And then there. I actually want it for tablet though, so I'm going to put it back in. But first I'm going to try saying inherit here. And see if that works. I've never really used it this way. My gut says it's going to, yeah, it's going to do it still. And then it's going to jump because it's not a numerical value. So I am just going, so your choice is you can either put these to zero, or you can just ditch them and keep the effect, which is what I'm going to do. And this should be the end here of today's tutorial here. And actually, maybe we'll make it a little faster. Like, well, how slow is this? Yeah, let's go a little faster. Let's say 0.2 seconds. Yeah, a little smoother. Sweet. Well, thanks for watching. That's how to pull off this, where's it at? Down here. This effect here. Also adding some animation. That's pretty sweet. And yeah, check out Superfly, BeSuperfly.com for other tutorials, tips, and tricks. And of course, check out our child themes, plugins, and layouts, and our membership feature. Anyway, again, this is John. Stay fly, y'all.